Hello and welcome. My name is Xander. I will be your instructor through this tutorial. Now, this tutorial is actually part of a whole course which you can access the first stages for free here on YouTube. Now, in this tutorial, I might mention resources and other tutorials. Do check out the link in the video description, which will take you to the playlist, and also there will be a link to the resources so that you can access and follow along here on YouTube. Now, if you like this course, you found it useful, and you want to take that next step, you can find this course over at Udemy. All the links to the resources can be found in the video description. Now, don't forget, also subscribe to the channel for weekly promotions, discounts, and free course giveaways. Okay, so let's now talk about unique values. So in PostgreSQL, unique values are used to enforce the rule that no two rows in a table can have the same value for a specified column or combination of columns. So this is typically enforced using a unique constraint or unique index. So let's imagine we had a student table. We have 4 fields in the student table. We'll go ahead and create a new record, the first record that you can see here highlighted in a blue. So we have student ID 10001, subject IDs, subject fee, and student name is Ellie. Now imagine we enter a second record, another student. So we have student ID 1002, subject ID the same, subject fee the same, and then the name is the same. Okay, so potentially we have a problem here if we have set the student name field to unique. So when we set a field to unique, this constraint ensures that all values in that column, so the student name column throughout the whole database, will be unique. So at no point in time can we add a new record where we have specified the student name field to be unique. Can we have 2 student names that are the same throughout the whole database? So here in this example, you can see that the second record has the same student name as the first student. And because the student name field is or has a unique constraint, we cannot enter this record. Maybe that's said easier than understood, but hopefully you get the general principle. So we need to work through each of our tables and identify some of the unique fields. Now, again, this might come down to your own business case or business scenario or application requirements. But here, let's take, for example, products. Maybe we can easily agree to the fact that this product name potentially needs to be unique because we don't want to store the same product twice. So potentially this product name should be set to unique because according to my business logic, there should be no product with the same name. So this field, the name, potentially we need to assign as unique. Now the slug field here, this slug field will uniquely identify a product. And this slug field will store a URL friendly string that I can use in the URL so that my application can then reference it to actually obtain the particular or record that this slug is associated to. So this also needs to be unique in my case. So other fields here, the price shouldn't be unique. So some of these things are very obvious, but the name and slug, in my opinion, based upon my business scenario or my business case or application requirements, I need to assign those as unique. So here in the category, I might also assign the category name to be unique because I don't want 2 categories to be the same. At least that's my requirements for my application, for example. So there are plenty of instances where you may need to assign fields to unique to prevent duplicate rows that have duplicate values in those particular fields. Now there are more advanced cases where we need to assign unique to multiple fields together. So together those fields are unique. The data in those fields are unique. But in this case, we're just going to start off with individual fields. So the SQL for this, we're going to alter the table, in this case category. We're going to add a new constraint. Okay, so that's going to be a unique constraint. And there are multiple types of constraints in the Postgres database, this just being one of the more easier to utilize. So here we have defined the name of this constraint. So we apply or assign a name for this constraint. and then we use the unique keyword, and then in parentheses, we define the field we want to assign unique to. So let's go ahead and add that to the name. And we'll do the same thing for the slug, end the statement with the semicolon, and that should then be applied. So let's take a look at the table where we're currently at. And you can see that this information here has now been extended. And notice at the bottom here, we have now a new section called indexes. And what we have is a name. We have a unique constraint. We have this B tree, and we have a name. Now, what we're seeing here is that when we create this unique constraint, PostgreSQL automatically creates an index behind the scenes. And in the case of unique constraints, PostgreSQL uses the default B tree index. Now, the use of an index in this case ensures that values in the column are unique by speeding up lookups and preventing duplicates. Now, we won't go into any real detail here as to what an index is at this point. What is important is that the operation was successful, and we do have a way of now ensuring that names and slugs, when entered into the database as a new row, they will be unique throughout the whole table. You can explore indexes further for all of the tables, eventually using the /di command. So if we use that here, you can see that will provide us a list of all relations, in actual fact, within all of our tables. But for now, all we have is 2 indexes, because that's what we have just created through this unique constraint that we have just applied to our category table. Okay, so you might like to identify some other unique constraints within the tables. So here, for example, in the promotion events, we are going to, no, we're not actually, because that is going to be, yeah, promotion events. Here we are. So the name of the promotion, we're going to set that to unique. That's a good idea. So each promotion will have a unique name. Products, we might have name and slug. So we'll alter that and make those changes. And then in stock management, the product ID will be unique, but we'll talk about that later when we discuss one-to-ones, why that is. And then in the user table, well, the user table may be more straightforward in that we don't want multiple usernames. That is probably similar to all systems. All usernames will be unique, or potentially, or emails should also be unique. So let's go ahead and add that in. So we now have users. It shouldn't be user. So we'll add that to our database. There we go. So we've now set up multiple unique constraints. So we can now view those, and we can now see all of the unique constraints that we have created. So we've learned in this tutorial how to assign unique values, and maybe you've learned where and when they might be applied within our database fields. What we have discussed is that we can set unique values both on single and unique values together, multiple fields. We didn't do that in this tutorial, but we may have an opportunity later to explore that further.